exactly right, watching, because we're always streaming live on YouTube. Welcome to Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Ijeoma Egwuatu, and the program is Matters. This is the program where we get to talk about any and everything that, affects us as a nation, as individuals, as a people, from the political to the social, the economic, the physical, in every facet, in every aspect of life. We always talk about it. Here is where we give you a voice. Yes, we give you a voice. Wherever you are, we make sure that we always try our best to give you a voice. In fact, we are the epitome of talk your own, talk as they do you. But I know that today is a very special day. It's a very special day in Nigeria. In fact, all over the world. It's a very special day for many of us in the media. It's a very special day for everyone who calls themselves a Nigerian. And I'm using the word special, for a reason. On the program today, we have quite a lot of matters to talk about. But as usual, I like to start off with a matter that is not so weighty. But fortunately or unfortunately, every single matter we have to talk about today is definitely weighty. So there is no one we can, just strike out and say, oh, let's just play around with this one. Well, on Monday, the Supreme Court sat for the first time on the case of Atiku versus Tinubu, and Atiku versus Tinubu, INEC and APC, and the Labour Party brought their case as well. The Supreme Court reserved judgment in Atiku's case and then went on to adjourn to a later date. Well, the later date was announced yesterday to be today, and today the Supreme Court has had its sitting. It's been sitting since 9 a.m., dismissed at about 12:05 or about 12:20 thereabouts. And the much waited for ruling has been made. Are you happy about it? In the course of the conversation, we will be talking about that. Let's know how happy you are about today's ruling. We know that the pendulum swings both ways, and just the same way, many people will be like, oh, justice has been served. Other people will feel like, oh, it was just judgment. Some people will say, I didn't see this coming. And others will say, we're hoping it was going to be the other way around. However, and whichever way it is, I would like to talk to you about it later on in the show. Welcome to Matters. My name is Ijeoma Egwuatu. I'm your host. We will be doing this up until 3 p.m. today. Thank you for staying with me. If you are just joining us, not to worry, you haven't missed a thing, as the program has just begun. This is Matters on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Ijeoma Egwuatu. I'm your host. The show continues up until 3 p.m. Well, I'm not alone in the studios. You know how it is. I'm not alone. I can't do this alone. I have with me in the studios a man of timber and caliber. Yes, he is a public affairs and social affairs analyst, as well as the former commissioner of police for Oyo State. I'm talking about CP Chuks Ewanwu. It's always a pleasure to have you here, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you and to the other listeners.
Yes, welcome to the program. There is quite a lot to talk about, and frankly, I don't even know where to begin. It seems wherever we start is fine. But today is Judgment Day. The final judgment has been passed. Appeals have been dismissed. In fact, many people have been told this thing that you came to present is frivolous, is lacking in merit, is vexatious. And I'm wondering, why such, gargantuan words? When the judge said this is a vexatious matter you have brought before me. But then, like I said, let's begin with less weighty matters, and we'll be starting in Ondo State. Recently, we spoke about how it seems the Ondo State governor was governing his state from Oyo State. I'm wondering, why is that? And then you explained to us that, he has a family house there. But right now, let's talk about the case between Governor Rotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State and his deputy, Lucky Aiyedatiwa. Aiyedatiwa, will I say he has bowed to pressure and he has apologized to Governor Akeredolu? Well, he tendered his apology when addressing a World Press Conference today. I can imagine how everyone's attention was just on the Supreme Court today, and how many people were really watching this World Press Conference. But the thing is, he has made his apology. He has made it public. He said what he needs to say. He called for an end to what he called a needless crisis in the southwest state. Well, the House of Reps, the Understate House of Reps, has called on the Deputy Governor to withdraw all the suits he filed against the lawmakers and Governor Akeredolu. Now, before they did that, the APC National Chairman, Abdullahi Ganduje, had a sit down with them. If you wanted to impeach someone and the person's party chairman comes and says, oh, I think there is a different way we can do this, instead of you to impeach him, let's not treat this case, let's not send him out, let's just give him a pat on the back, or let's give him a spank. Should it really be like that? If he has done something worthy of impeachment, why listening to the party chairman, or why having the party chairman wait in to tell you, oh, hold on, let's look for another way to resolve this dispute? I'd like to hear from you on those state situation. When the captain and the class captain are fighting, is it not the members of the class, the other students, that will feel it?
Well, you have said it all. It's unfortunate what has been unfolding in Ondo State. And for those who have been watching closely, would have come to find out that the chairman of the party possibly intervened. Maybe because he wouldn't have himself and the other party chieftains wouldn't have wanted to send a wrong signal to the larger public that the house is not quite in order. But from the whispers we've been getting, actually, the house was shaking. The house has been shaking because, allegedly, when the governor was sick and went abroad, the deputy governor had to steer the ship of the state. But at the same time, it seemed as if people around him, usually when you're in a position, a lot of advice, both positive and negative, will be coming
in from different corners.
From different corners. And his aides and other sycophants, booked liquors and lackeys, were urging him that they don't think this man will ever come back. He should prepare himself as the next person who will be
next in line for governor.
Yes, not even next in line. He has already become the governor. That was what we are hearing. And whether it is true or not, it was further exacerbated by the fact that they alleged he went beyond his limits in disbursing funds that he had no authority in doing. In other words, he had already asserted that the incumbent will surely not come back, whether anybody likes it or not. Those things were just all allegation. It is yet to be, confirmed to us that it was exactly what happened. To the extent that it was also further alleged that even had the temerity to go and buy bulletproof vehicles, maybe for use by himself and for other top functionaries who were supporting his government of the time. And when suddenly Akeredolu resurfaced and came back, it became like, this thing we were not expecting to happen. So the man is back. And the reaction from the Akeredolu's camp was first to begin to dislodge all those sycophants and hangers-on in the corridors of power who were supporting the deputy governor. And that went to the extent that obviously some of the supporters of Akeredolu felt that the best thing is that this man is not loyal. Let him be thrown out and be replaced. And if they had removed him, he wouldn't have been the first to be removed. And he would not have been the last too, because some deputy governors had been removed like that in the past in many states, both in my own home state, Anambra, down to Abia. Even 2 deputy governors were removed during Ojo's Okalo's 8 years. Nwafo and the present, he used to be a minority leader in Senate.
In the Senate.
What's his name again? Very controversial lawyer. Well, I will remember his name soon. Apart from your engineer Nwafo, the subsequent one was also removed. That's for Abia. We have also seen it happen even recently in Oyo, where the deputy governor was replaced, and the Lawal that is there now, who later went for election with Sheyi Makinde, took over. When, what's his name? The present president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was governor of Lagos, the deputy, the lady, was removed, and Pedro stepped in. So his own wouldn't have been the first in the Fourth Republic, and would also not have been the last. But be that as it may, the party hierarchy had to wade in for reasons best known to them on one side, and obviously too, because they will be going for election next year in the state for governorship seat.
And you don't want to run with a divided party.
You have just answered it. They will not want to go for a war, in a divided platform, because it will affect them adversely. Especially PDP has been warming up and trying to capitalize on what is going on there to see if they can wrest that state from APC. In the whole of Southwest, there are 6 states, and PDP is comfortably holding 2 states of Osun and Oyo. And I'm sure they are targeting Ondo now, because they have held that place before when Agagu Olusegun late was there as the governor. Olusegun Agagu, yes, late. Then Mimiko too, who was a member of the PDP and later went to Labour Party, also held fort to Ondo before Akeredolu succeeded in coming in 2016 up to 2020, went for a second term that will elapse by next year. So, that being the case, they have barely 1 year to go for the next governorship election in Ondo State. And they will not want it to slip off their hands. I think that is exactly the situation in that state for
Does
now.
an apology then solve things? If the deputy governor was actually working against his principal, whom he's supposed to be working hand in hand with, in tandem, just keeping the house in order while his deputy, while his principal rather goes to get his health in order. If he really was working against his principal, will an apology solve things?
Well, when the party hierarchy intervenes, a lot of things will change. It may not even go down well with the governor and those in support of him. But at the end of the day, they may not have a choice, especially when the party hierarchy had intervened. And, in such intervention, they would have made it abundantly clear that whatever is the case, they are doing it as an overriding interest of the party. So they will accept things as it is. The same thing has been trying to play out too in Edo between Obaseki and his deputy governor. And within the last few days or weeks, the deputy governor also came up to do a public apology, just like this one. And Obaseki said, well, he has forgiven him of his sins. And the funny part of it is that their election is also that next year, 2024. And those two states are neighboring states. Edo is on the right, Ondo is on the left. So that's exactly what is playing out as we speak.
So with this apology, you spoke about the Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Shaibu. Yes. In his case, Governor Obaseki allegedly locked him out of office, relocated his office. It was like coming out to fight dirty in the eyes of the public. With cameras watching and with eyes watching and all of that. All of these apologies, does it really solve anything?
I don't think so. But this is what we call eye service, more or less. So that it will seem that there has been reconciliation, that they have achieved peace. That's the essence of doing those apologies. But deep down, I'm sure something different would have been playing out. Like that of Edo, the governor too is almost trying to round up his second tenure of 8 years by next year. And the allegations too, from what we read and what we are hearing, is that the deputy governor, Shuaibu, has been positioning himself to take over from the incumbent governor when he leaves.
Which reportedly is what caused the problem.
Yes, which exactly was what was alleged to have caused the problem. And lo and behold, maybe the governor had not found him fit to be the one that will replace him. So obviously he may have been looking at somebody else to anoint, because when you have total control of anointing, though it does not work out 100% like that, when you anoint, there is a tendency that the person will be loyal and will take care of you as the elder statesman when you are no longer there, even though it does not work 100%. And furthermore, if you look back, you find out that a good number of times and places, the governors succeed in anointing who will replace them. But what follows after that is completely a different ballgame. Like, look at Anambra now. The former governor, Willie Obiano, is complaining bitterly against Chukwuma Soludo and is regretting ever giving him that opportunity to take over from him. And the same thing, Obi regretted for bringing in Willie Obiano and giving him that opportunity to become governor, and he ended up messing him up. It's not only in Anambra, it happened in Abia when Ojo Zokalo anointed T.A. Oji, his then chief of staff. That one came towards the end of the first term. He disappointed him, and took total charge. You see, even in that Edo, somebody like Obaseki was anointed by Oshomole. And by the time he did one term, Oshomole said he would not allow him to do second term. So it was fight between the two gladiators, to the extent that Obaseki was denied ticket in APC. He quietly went to PDP and still won the election. And this time around, he has decided that possibly he didn't come up openly to say that he's not going to give Shuaibu the ticket. And let's see how it will play out. Maybe something different may happen, that Shuaibu may have to go to APC to collect ticket from there. And with power of incumbency at the center, he may end up being lucky to get it. And if you further analyze this governor, deputy governor rat race, or discordant tunes that they sing, you make reference to Ebonyi, where Martin Elechi was governor and Romahi was his deputy for 8 years. And he felt he would not hand over to his deputy. He was shopping for a replacement. His deputy used the contacts he had at Asorok then and bulldozed his way and got the ticket under the PDP then and became the governor in 2015. Did first 4 years to 19 and did second 4 years to this 2023 before he now became appointed after succeeding as winning an election as senator from Ebonyi under APC. He's now appointed as Minister
As a
for
minister.
Works.
And so it's just from one portfolio to the other, but still in the government coffers.
Exactly. Those are the people we call AGIP. Any government in power. They will always navigate their ways. People like Goodswill Akpabio. That's what he's been doing. He moved from PDP to APC, and that movement made him lose election for 2019, going back to the Senate. He was defeated by Benyo, the former deputy governor under Bongata. But instead of losing out totally as APC chieftain, they gave him Minister for Niger Delta Development Commission, or they created ministry for it, and he became the minister and held fort till this 2023, when he went back again with the power of incumbency of the APC and won Akwa Ibom Northeast Senatorial District, and came back and became the president, got elected as the president of the Senate. Even though he's going to Senate with Lawan, it's very controversial because they were all in Eagle Square, slotting it out with the executive president of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for the position of presidency before they finally declined and supported President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So the question was, you cannot be pursuing two positions at the same time. So how did you succeed after going for presidential primaries in Eagle Square? You ended up, when there were already candidates who had already been nominated and we are flying the flags for Senate, both from Yobe and from Akwa Ibom, So that is an issue for another day. As time goes on, we'll come to find out how they navigated themselves back to that Senate to the extent that the man ended up becoming the Senate president.
All right, then. Thank you, CP, for that analysis on the Understate situation. Let's move forward to, something that we've been talking about from the twilight of the President Muhammadu Buhari administration, and that is Nigerian Air. The Group Chief Executive Officer of Ethiopian Airlines, Mr. Mesfin Tasiu, provided an insight into the involvement of, the airline into the setting up of Nigerian Air. He said the airline almost withdrew, but the federal government insisted that it must continue with the process. This is actually the first time that Ethiopian Airlines leadership would speak on the controversy over the airline. We know that the former Minister of Aviation, Senator Hadi Sirika, had floated the airline on May 27, but it did not see the light of day as Nigerians later discovered that a plane belonging to Ethiopian Airlines was used to conduct a demonstration flight against the dictate of the process for the establishment of a new airline. The Airline Operators of Nigeria had also sued the federal government, challenging the selection of Ethiopian Airlines as the preferred bidders to midwife the process. Well, speaking to journalists in Addis Ababa, Ethiopian Airlines CEO stated that the East African carrier never had any plan to set up an airline in Nigeria, but they were invited by the federal government to partner with it to establish a national carrier. It also explained that the federal government requested that the Nigeria Air logo be painted on the Ethiopian Airlines aircraft for inspection, and the airline agreed. He said the logo was painted for inspection. Right now, Ethiopian Airlines are trying to exonerate themselves, saying, look, we were not in lieu with the Nigerian federal government when they were doing this. They just collected or borrowed our aircraft, put their logo. It's kind of like when you charter an aircraft, or when you rent a vehicle, what you do with it for the period is with you, as long as you return it
intact
and
within the specified period.
As it is right now, Ethiopian Airlines, are they really, their hands, is it clean in this situation?
Of course, their hands are clean from whichever angle you try to look at it.
That's to say, it's only after the demonstration that they realize that they had been quote unquote used.
No, not question of being used or not used. It's a contract. Number one, there are terms of contracts. You have signed that we are going into partnership, maybe on certain percentages on either sides. That is one. Then two, we have not gotten to the destination or the conclusion of the arrangement in the partnership. We are still on it. Then because you want to save your face due to the lies you would have ended up dishing out to maybe your people or your constituency, you approach me and say, within the context of this, our agreement and understanding, can you let go your aircraft for a period of 48 hours? It is not for nothing. I'll still pay for it. There's no way you say no. I'll tell you, go ahead. So long as you are complying with the terms of the agreement. I'll let go the aircraft for the 48 hours. Whatever you do with it is your business. So if you like, you go and respray it to whatever color that suits you. The only thing I'll do, in order not to misuse my aircraft, I will do what they call wet lease arrangement with you. I will not dry lease it. In other words, it means the total crew will be my crew. With your color, that's your business. You fly the aircraft to wherever you want to go and do razzmatazz or abracadabra. That's your own cup of tea. When the time I signed with you elapses, nothing stops the aircraft from leaving your domain with my crew that you have wet leased to jet back to Addis Ababa. And once it gets there, within the next 24 hours again, we will spray it back to our Ethiopian airline color and then put it on service because it has fulfilled your own contract with me. We have fulfill the conditions precedent within the context of the contract. So, whether you are being crucified in your area or you're being treated as a scam or a bandit, that is your own business. There's no way it will affect me. You can't say that I've played dirty. There's nothing dirty there. It is a binding legal document which two of us have signed. And there's no way I'll give you that aircraft free of charge. You must have paid for leasing or letting of that aircraft and for the duration specified. And that's exactly what would have played out.
As it is right now, would it be too much to expect this current administration to probe the whole saga? Because this was, it was, the then Minister of Aviation, it was as if he wanted it to be, let this be what we did. But you had so many years to do this and you did not. And it was like almost the eve of the administration leaving, less than 2 days.
Because of the money that has been disbursed. How would they defend it?
And so what was he doing before then that even the president could not probe or look into it?
The thing is this, some people think they are very, very smart. He may have been deceiving his principal, who happens to be the commander-in-chief, then, that they can do and undo, that the thing is already a finished package. That very soon Nigerians will be. So by the time the government was exiting, it was so glaring to the former commander-in-chief that this whole thing is a scam. But there's nothing he could do because he had handed over. So he cannot from outside begin to dictate the tune of what happens in the present government.
In terms of probe or calling for that.
Or calling for questions or inquiries. So it's left for the present government to assert themselves and do the needful, what is expected by the public, because all eyes are on that particular transaction or contract. What happened and what should be served to the culprits, at least to be like a deterrent for some others who will come up to continue from where they stopped.
All right, then you are listening to Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Ijeoma Innocent. The show is Matters, and this is where we'll talk about the several different matters, several different issues that affect us as humans, as people, as individuals, as Nigerians, and in every way. I have with me in the studio CP Chuks Enwonwu, and we are talking about all of these several different matters that affect us. Let's talk about the former EFCC chairman, because a new one has been appointed. I'm talking about Abdul Rashid Bawa.
Okay.
Well, he has finally been released 5 months after being in detention. 5 whole months of the DSS preferring no charges against him. You know, when they come today and they talk about, oh, it was for abuse of office and abuse of power. But in what way did he abuse his office? Why not tell us? And then 5 months down the line, he's been released just like that. It's as if he's been told, oh, we are tired of holding you. Just go home. We don't have room for you here anymore. But then if you recall, the CBN governor was arrested by DSS before him. And he's still in detention. And they keep dragging him to court. And the court has said, let him go out on bail. And yet that court order has not been respected. What is going on?
Well, let me start with Bawa. In Bawa's case, it was alleged that he abused office while in the corridors of power. I'm seeing that from 2 angles. One, some of the people he may have investigated their cases. Maybe some of them are still serving governors or people in position of authority, whether it's NNPC or in Federal Inland Revenue and so on and so forth, or Accountant General's office and so on. They felt that this is an opportunity to pay him back in his own coin for overstepping his bounds. More so, when the man who brought him in the person of the former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister for Justice, was allegedly fingered as the person that brought him as his boy or something of that sort. When they are no longer there, it is now left for the new regime to have their pound of flesh. That is one part of it. Then on the other side, we have been told that they recovered almost 500 million naira from him. So the question is, what has been his salary and all other allowances? How did he come to have that sum
in his possession?
In his possession. This one, we are talking of cash. They have not gone into assets. We have also not been told what he has in foreign exchange or domiciliary accounts. So you can see that probably they can hold that as grounds for keeping him that long. They can still tell you that we are doing a lot of investigations. And the man too cannot come out to say a thing. Because when you are caught red-handed, even if it's not up to that sum, but something has been found that you cannot defend, the integrity question comes into play. So that's why the man has quietly gone home and will continue to make himself available when the investigating team still needs him. That's for Bawa. Then for somebody like Emefiele, sitting atop as governor of Central Bank for like 9 years. You know what that means? You had the economy of the country in your hands to manage. And this economy has been so grossly mismanaged, especially the regime of the past 8 years of Muhammadu Buhari. See where we found ourselves. Dollar hitting the naira, and the naira is dropping as if it has absolutely no weight anymore. That is just one side. Then there has been a lot of allegations and counter-allegations of mismanagement pilferage, money laundering, arbitrage, rent seeking, in the central bank, in foreign exchange markets, round tripping. And these are running into billions of dollars and trillions of naira. And you tell me court has given him reprieve to be granted bail. And you think the investigators will look at that? They have a way of beating these court orders. They'll go to a higher court and get a higher court orders against the judge, whichever court order you have secured from a lower court, convincing that court that if this man is let to go, it will jeopardize the investigation they are doing, and that they have seen a lot. They will not make public now, make it known to the public for now. I believe that is what is exactly playing out. That's why they are still holding him back and still doing investigations. They have not come out to reel out in details what they have seen, in course of investigating that former governor of Central Bank. So Nigerians should not be in a hurry to begin to ask for the man to get his freedom. They should leave the sleeping dog lie.
Are you saying that even as the former EFFC chairman has been released, the CBN governor should remain in the custody of the DSS?
Well, the people doing the investigation have their reason for keeping him.
They can't investigate him from his house because
the fear they are having when you leave such people to go is that they are going to tamper with a lot of evidence from outside. That is one. Then two, they may also have that tendency of running away from the country. For running away from the country, his passport could be confiscated. Which passport are you talking about? These people in that category, they have so many passports. Which one are you going to hold?
Okay, so
and many of those passports have visas, multiple visas.
Different ways of getting out of the country.
They have many ways of escaping.
Now, if they've been investigating him all this month and till now they still haven't gotten what they need.
Who told you they've not gotten what they need?
Why not then take him, to court once and for all, instead of taking him one time, one after the other?
No, but the thing seems to be that they've not concluded the investigation. A lot still is coming out. Every day you will hear about so and so hundreds of millions of dollars in shady and sharp practices by way of either selling dollars to people who are not authorized or who are not supposed to get those. A lot happened. For instance, in the case of round tripping, or what you call money laundering, a situation where some preferred people, maybe they are part of the cabal, somebody like late Issa Funtua, as alleged, they had the privilege of using BDCs, Bureau de Change, to get the official rate of the dollars, maybe then at the cost of 450 naira to a dollar. And maybe the man gets daily or weekly $1 million. Then the errand boys on the Bureau de Change will just go out in the market and sell it for 750 naira to a dollar. So in every one transaction, the man has made 300 naira per dollar. When he offloads $1 million, he has made 300 million naira in one day or in 1 week, as the case may be. I'm just giving you this as an instance. And they've been doing that over and over and over.
And these are the cases of economic sabotage.
But that's total economic sabotage. That's what we are saying. And there are so many like that. If you have been listening to what is happening in the central bank, that is why they ended up offloading both the deputy governors of CBN, because some of them were alleged to be part of this scam. They were one way or the other benefiting from all this. And there were so many names, very big names, they have been mentioning to have been part and parcel of this economic sabotage. So The man at the helm of the affairs is believed to be in the know and maybe to be a beneficiary in some of those illicit transactions. So I strongly believe that these are the grounds or reasons why the man is still in custody. And people should not say he's in custody unlawfully, because in as much as a court of competent jurisdiction has said the man should go, the people investigating, because I've been in the business, I've been in that system, so I know the way they do it. They'll go to a higher court and get a counter order and ask that, look, if this man leaves, a lot will happen, or the country will be in total mess. We need him. He has not finished answering questions. They will approve, they will grant that. And they continue to keep him and begin to search all the corners. Because as we speak, some people are aggrieved who have been in the system in CBN, who did not benefit much. They'll be coming out with different sources of information. The ones that people have not seen, those who were there, will go and get the papers and submit it to whoever is investigating. Then they will keep confronting the man on a regular basis. What do you know about this? Did you sign this? He will say no. Did you authorize them? Who did you authorize to sign it? He will say, please ask so and so person. They will go and bring that person. That's what is ongoing now. That's why I said I was in investigation in First Year Alabo for 8.5 years, throughout the period of Abacha down into Abdul Salam, then to Obasanjo's time. So we have been handling cases similar to this, though not as big as this, not in this magnitude. And I know the way we were going around it and about it. So that's what is playing out in his own case. So the two cannot be compared. The man of EFCC's offense is straight and direct. Maybe in his own case, is outright, he cannot explain the source of the money they found on him, and maybe some of the assets they found with him. That one is straightforward. They have not been able to pin down that he corruptly enriched himself from money, maybe meant for operations in EFCC. We have not been told that yet. And then the question is, even if money was meant available for use by EFCC, they've not told us the magnitude of what they have given to EFCC and how the man abused his office by converting it to his own personal pocket and use and all that. But this one is the economy of Nigeria for 9 years. And a lot went wrong, from what we had as foreign reserve in 2014 when he became the governor of Central Bank. After SLS, the former Emir of Kano, handed over to him or left the office for him to take over, up till the moment he was removed, by the end of the Muhammadu Buhari's regime. So that is what is going on now. And the extent the economy has gone is what has kept us where we are today, as we speak.
Let's talk about the EFCC, the former EFCC chairman,
Yes.
Bauer, who has now been released. He also approached, a court, took the DSS to court due to his detention for over this 5 months. Before his release, he had filed a suit at the Lagos Division of the Federal High Court for the enforcement of fundamental rights by a lawyer, Chinedu Oburu, on his behalf. The former EFCC chairman sought an order from the court to declare his detention without trial illegal. Now, his lawyer noted that he brought the action in the interest of Bauer, the public, democracy, the rule of law, and the need to sustain the anti-corruption spirit and momentum. Isn't it funny that this same Bauer, who during his time as EFCC chairman did not obey court orders? You will recall that, and it was earlier this year in February that the Kogi State High Court in Lokoja, actually ordered him to be imprisoned for disobeying a court order. It directed the IGP to arrest Bauer and remand him in prison for 14 days. Now this same Bauer is approaching the court to say that his detention was illegal. But then the court issued an order and you did not follow it. Now you want the court to speak on your case. Let's talk about this disregarding court orders that has been really rampant for some time now.
The thing is this. I had earlier explained this bit that all this alleged disobedience to court orders, in the true sense of it, is not correct. They are misleading the public to believe that orders given by court has been disobeyed. It's not true. Those investigating bodies don't disobey. They are many of them. They have lawyers working with them. They can never disobey court orders. I have told you what they normally do, because I was in the system. When they get such order, they will rush to a higher court, a court of a higher jurisdiction, with application explaining why this order should not allow to fly. And when they are going, they will not tell you, they will not put your lawyer in picture that this is what they are doing.
Okay, so the process of litigation just continues, and then it seems, this court order has been disobeyed, not knowing that this person is now going to a higher court.
Exactly.
To seek a higher ruling on that case.
Of course, they will get there, get a higher order that will tell them to continue their investigation and keep the man. The worst case scenario they will do, especially in the police case, in police situation, is that they will go and remand the person in correctional service. And from there, they continue their investigation. But in the case of DSS, they will not want the person to be remanded in correctional service because of their cases getting contaminated. Contaminated in the sense that a lot of things will go wrong. That's their belief. Maybe the man will have access to phone. He may even grant interview to press, and so on and so forth. So they want a place where they will have total control. He will not have access to phone. He will not have access to his laptop. If he has to see his members of the members of his family, which is entitled to, they will make sure they monitor the discussion and monitor whatever is being exchanged, to the extent that certain vital or critical documents are not tampered with. So that's why the DSS is very strict in their own inquiries that they make. While on the part of the police will look at the case. If it is the one, they will remind the correctional services detention center, they will do that. Then if it is the one they believe they should not do, they should not take and keep with the correctional service, they will go and explain to the court. And if the court is convinced, they will allow them to remand within the police detention facility and continue their investigation. That's the way it works.
A comment right here on YouTube. I'd like to read one particular comment to you on YouTube. This person says it's because MFLA is from the south and Bawa is from the northern part.
No, it's not. That's not the situation. I don't want to buy that. Those ones are trying to play politics of tribe and,
you feel this person is being tribal and sentimental?
Yes, he's bringing tribal sentiments. The two positions are at variance. The positions of responsibility each of the two held are quite different. That of Mefele was a very enormous. I told you the economy of the country was being managed by him. When it comes to monetary policies and policy directions, he's the man. He has been the man in charge, and he was responsible for managing of other commercial banks, Bankers Bank. That's what the CBN is. So whatever situation we ended up finding ourselves, he cannot absolve himself in terms of role that he played as governor of Central Bank.
All right, then you are listening to Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Ijeoma Innocent, and this is Matters. You have been listening to analyst in the studio, CP Chooks, a former Oyo State Commissioner of Police and also a political and social affairs commentator and analyst. You can call me up. The studio lines are now open. 0700 903 903 903. Give us a call on 0700 903 903 903. Let's hear your opinions on the different matters we have been talking about today. You can also send your message to our WhatsApp platform. It is 0700 903 9039. Again, our WhatsApp platform is 0700 903 9039. We are streaming live on YouTube. So head on over to YouTube, type into your search bar Voice of the People 90.3 FM, and we will get to hear from you. It's 2 p.m. right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Let's get to the main conversation of the day, the highlight of the day. It might seem like we've been shying away from it, but no, I wanted the clock to strike 2 and then we move into it. The Supreme Court ruling. Now, I know you have a lot to say about this. I know you want to call me up and talk about this, but let me quickly talk to CP Chooks and ask a few questions. The very first question would be, was this what you expected?
You mean in terms of the judgment?
Yes, the judgment.
Of course, I didn't expect anything different. This is exactly what I expected.
Fresh evidence. The Supreme Court rejected Atiku's motion to file fresh evidence, saying the 180 days that he had elapsed. Said his appeal lacked in merit. It was frivolous. It was vexatious. Now, even with the 180 days passed, even though the 180 days had passed, even though it had elapsed, critics said the weight of the evidence that Atiku had gathered was enough for the Supreme Court to reconsider. Was that the people being sentimental?
Well, that was the expectation of the people. And at the same time, it is not binding on Supreme Court to accept documents or fresh evidence at that apex court level. In other words, to them, theirs is to review the case or the rulings and the details of what would have happened at the court of first instance, which is the court of appeal, where they had a presidential election petition tribunal. So, whatever they have done, they did it at their own discretion and by the rules and regulations, governing the proceedings at the Supreme Court. So that's exactly what has played out.
All right then. One more thing that the Supreme Court ruled on was the case of 25% in the FCT. It upheld the ruling of the Pepsi, that's the appeal court, saying that 25% in FCT is not compulsory. In fact, the judge said, so do you mean if a candidate scores 25% only in the FCT, or if a candidate scores more than, if candidate wins more than 30 states and does not score 25% in the FCT, that such a candidate will not be made president? And he said, no, it would not uphold it would uphold the ruling of the appeal court on the 25% in the FCT. And that is why I ask, the misinformation and misrepresentation and misinterpretation of 25% in FCT, the and the or, where was it gotten wrong?
As far as that issue of 25%, as far as it is concerned, it is neither here nor there. And that is what we have been told by the Supreme Court. So who are we to argue about it? But the thing is very, very clear. Go and pick the Constitution and look at that section. I think it's section 134 or so. Look at it in details and in its totality. I don't see anything ambiguous in that section of the Constitution. But things have gone the way it did. So any analysis or comments we are making now It's just merely for academic exercise.
But we should still talk on these issues.
Yes, that's exactly why we are discussing on them. Because like you pointed out, all those and so on and so forth being played around or being juggled around, they are more or less semantics. But the message is clearly there. Anybody should go there and read it and see what the message is.
Ruling on forgery, the Supreme Court said the deposition that Atiku's counsels presented did not have an official seal of the issuing court or the signature of any authorized officer or official for them to know that this is an authentic document that is being brought to the Supreme Court, saying that Atiku did not prove his case of forgery beyond reasonable doubt. The same thing with the case of civil forfeiture of some $460,000 that year, and then the case of drug dealing. When the people talk about, these matters are so weighty that the Supreme Court cannot just overlook it. And now it looks like that is exactly what has been done, because the Supreme Court is going according to the law. And more than once, lawyers and legal practitioners have talked about how the law does not operate according to sentiment or according to feelings or according to emotions. It will always go according to what the dictates of the law and dictates of the Constitution. The judges also spoke about the Electoral Act, saying whatever is in the Electoral Act is what will be used to judge election matters. And again, I ask, were these evidences not weighty enough? Because this is the apex court that has the power, the right, the ability to say, okay, you know what, we want to do something different. We want to do something that in other judgments, in subsequent judgment, this will be cited. And then they say, look, when someone has been voted into office, when the INEC says this is the winner of an election, we assume that that is correct until someone else proves otherwise. And so in this whole situation, where is the disparity?
Let me be frank with you. The laws have their rules and regulations. And in the process of adjudicating on matters, they follow the rules strictly, the way the law has provided. So if anybody is expecting anything outside, based on emotions or based on sentiments, it will not fly. And that is exactly what has happened in this case. And the only thing there is that those who are stakeholders have learnt their lessons. And I'm sure in future they will be more cautious and they will not allow certain things they believe is either the wrongs to outplay itself in future. That's just a lesson the thing has sent to everybody as far as this issue is concerned. You know, and that was why it is expected of you, the appellants, to come and prove your case beyond reasonable doubt, which maybe on technical grounds and on the principles of law, most of the applications was thrown out because they felt they had not passed the litmus tests for them to prove the case otherwise. That's exactly what happened.
All right, then let's hear from you. We've been getting so many calls and the phone lines are now open. We would love to hear from you. Good afternoon and welcome to Matters. I can hear myself. Please turn down the volume on your radio set, okay? And give me a call back. While we're waiting on your calls, let's go take some messages on our YouTube and WhatsApp platforms. Beginning from YouTube, Hannah says, so governors is appointed. Tinubu is right. He said it is done. Okay. Hi, Roy Bramble says, okay. Mr. Triumph says one Nigeria. All right. Adaku Jacinta says, God is the right judge and his judgment is final. When he starts his judgment, may he not spare all the wicked in Nigeria. Okay. Anna says, upon grammar and learned. Okay. OB12OB says, Ethiopia has no cost to answer. It is Ethiopian Airlines. Okay, not the country. It's the Ethiopian Airlines is what we have an issue with. Hannah says, Hannah. Okay, let's take it easy. Ezudo says, one Nigeria people, where are they? OB12OB says, Bawa, they are holding him. It's about bullion van issue. Tinubu use it to punish him. You know so much. The MFLA is because it's from South. Bawa is from the northern part. Same OB12OB. Anna said, Mary said, God will fix Nigeria. Can God fix the road? Can God fix hospitals? Can God fix security? Ola Adewale says, can you put those judges under corruption smell test? Will they pass such tests? Is technicality part of the details of Nigerian jurisprudence? Those judges are predictable because non-lawyers saw it coming. All right, then let's move on over to WhatsApp. So many messages. I have Hakimi, Peace Ambassador from Songwater, Ogun State, saying, good afternoon, Chioma, with your great analyst. Supreme Court cash out once in 4 years. Losers, how market? Now winners, congratulations. Please, kindly, both losers and winners join hands together and do the needful. I saw an old man this afternoon begging for some food to eat. I asked him, sir, where are you when your team members were making money? And he said, my son, is not easy for him. After servicing Nigeria for 35 years, no house and nothing to show up. Whereby senators and governors serve only 4 years and have everything they want in this world. This is Niger for you, Hakimi. Peace. All right, thank you, Hakimi. Olushoga Ajayi from Odumla Ikorodu says, how do you expect to be an Atiku to win in a case when the person you are taking to court is the president? It can never work in this country. Obi and Atiku should just forget about this case and move on. That's from Olushoga Ajayi from Odumla Ikorodu. Thank you so much for your opinion. I also have here, good afternoon to you all. Emmanuel from Mushi. Wike should come back to Rivers State. The Supreme Court said that Abuja is a state. Abuja should have their own governor and news and minister. Wike should come back to Rivers State. Okay. This person said, CP, you tried, but whether you like it or not, there is tribal sentiment in the release of Bawa. You didn't tell me your name. Please let's know your name and where you're writing us from. Then we have Remy from Makoka saying, please ask your guests, what was Supreme Court's interpretation concerning 25% in the FCT in 2007? Okay, then. This person says, good afternoon. Today's judgment at the Supreme Court is expected, though I'm not pleased with the judge's submission, but we just have to move on. I'll urge other candidates that challenge the result in courts to work with the president and the best interest of the nation. Lanre Bashir from Ketu. Thank you so much, Larry Bashir. This person says, any country that protects the rich and the strong would always have a comprised judiciary as their militia, and Nigeria is one of such. Common sense is better than, oh my goodness, come on. How can you say common sense is better than Nigerian laws and the judges? The right of 25% as denied is injustice to the voting right of electing governorship and senatorial representatives of indigenes of Abuja. Leo from Idimu. All right, Leo, thank you so much. Let's move on over to the phone lines. Good afternoon. Welcome to Matters. Please turn down the volume of your radio set.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Welcome. What's your name and location, please?
This is Charles from Kochope.
Welcome, Charles. Let's hear your opinion on today's matters.
I should say that the whole saga or whatever we are experiencing today in Nigeria, to me, I know that whatever that is happening, everybody, we're all Nigerians. We should, for once, believe that we are together and we are one. But sometimes when things begin to go in the alternative or ulterior way, we begin to have doubts. But as it is today, it seems the issue of court orders and the judgment and justices are being eroded. But I believe that whatever happens, both in the judgment and the justices of today that we have had, is everything is in the hand of God. I urge all Nigerians to actually believe that we are one, and the precedents laid in all that has happened shall not be forgotten, because there is already a precedent laid, and we should hold on to whatever that happened, so that by the special grace of God, the future is so big for us to wait for. I commend CP Chooks for all his analysis. I have been following him. He's a man with great honor and great understanding. But I pray that whatever the present government is going to do should, by all means, never think that as the judgment and everything has gone this way, to negate the fact that every other sections and sectionalities of Nigeria are one and one entity. And so that all of us will move forward. And 2027, some of the electoral reforms, I am suggesting that we should go into it, the National Assembly go into it and make vivid and clear points concerning them, so that at the end, including the Abuja FCT, 25%, percent should all be put in order, so that 2027 we should not go merry-go-round again, start asking questions and start going up and down and not knowing where we're going. But for now, let us hold on the precedents. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you so much for calling all the way from Kosofe, Charles. I do appreciate your call. Okay, then 0700 903 903 903 is the number to call to be a part of the conversation. My name is Ijeoma Innocent. I have with me in the studios CP Chooks Egwuatu. We've been talking about the Supreme Court ruling today. I do know that some people are happy and some are not. Some people are excited and some are not. But still, I want to hear your opinion. Good afternoon. Welcome to Matters.
Hello.
Hello there. Welcome to Matters.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Yeah.
What's your name and location, please?
My name is Timothy, calling from Ikoton.
Welcome, Timothy. Let's hear your opinion.
Yes, about this case. One thing, as a layman, that I can see something wrong from the foundation of the case. That, for example, Labour Party mentioned that they scored over 1 million in Lagos State. But there is no place, no section where they show any figure that, okay, in this state or in this polling unit, we scored AZ, but it was a B that they put there. Nothing like that. I can see the confusion. It's just like a public opinion, not following the legal something. I think we have watched election petition.
So you feel they only stated their case by mouth, they didn't bring hard evidence?
Yes. I watched it closely. I not anywhere where they quoted any figure that, okay, in this state or in this putting something, because we saw the one of 2019, 2011, and so on, where people will bring their records from their agents. That's okay, we scored so much, but this is what was recorded for them, and so on. The same thing happened in Osun. They were able to prove the figures. There's nothing in this federal something, nothing, no figure. You can check. Nobody quoted any figure. They are just using a mouth, public opinion, social media. And I think social media did probably confuse the legal teams. I think they rely on social media, giving all sorts of results and so on.
Okay.
And again, on Abuja, 25%. I think on moral basis or common sense. I don't think they can award Abuja that or not that unless you score 25% there, you cannot be president of Nigeria. But if you score 25% there and you not win in any other state, then you become president because Abuja is a golden. No. I think it's totally wrong.
Okay, thank you so much for your call. I really do appreciate it. All right, give me a call, 0700 903 903 903. My name is Ijeoma Innocent. You are listening to Matters. On WhatsApp, we have Kelechi from Oshodi saying, good afternoon, Ijeoma and CP Chooks. Judiciary and Supreme Court have told us today that we have 37 states in Nigeria. Wike should return to Rivers State to even cases of forgery. They made it clear that you should forge a certificate and do whatever you want to do in Nigeria. Chop. Okay, thank you. That was yesterday. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it. Good afternoon, madam. Whoever is saying one Nigeria is feeding from his own mouth. There is nothing like one Nigeria. If it was an Igbo man that was there will be chaos. Nigeria don't cast Samuel Watson from Shogunle. Samuel Watson, let's be careful of our utterances. All right. Thank you so much for your message. I really do appreciate it. We still have CP Chooks in the studio and we're still talking about the Supreme Court ruling. Let's take one more call. Good afternoon. Welcome to Matters.
Hello, Choma. Good afternoon.
Hi there. Good afternoon. What's your name and location, please?
My name is Uduak from Solo.
Welcome, Uduak. Let's hear from you.
I said this. We had great CP over there.
Thank you. CP greets you too.
Oh, good afternoon.
The forgery, any Nigerian now can do any forgery because they don't even judge that one. Even 25%, they will give them their governor and their three senators for that place. Because Mesoma own, they follow all the senators, all the reps, they follow Mesoma own, but this one, they just abandon this thing. The suburb of Nigeria, God will not forgive them. That is my conclusion. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Uduak. Okay, thank you, Uduak. Good afternoon. Welcome to Matters.
Hello, good afternoon, Chema. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you. What's your name and your location, please?
Okay, my name is Tosin. I'm actually calling from the United States of America.
Welcome, Tosin. We're very well, thank you. Let's hear from you.
Mr. CP, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you too?
Okay, very good. Can you point, sir?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, today it's so sad that people are not wearing black and black in Nigeria. I expect that people should wear black and black upon black. And
why
the man
so?
that just spoke earlier. Okay, because they just murdered democracy in Nigeria. They just murdered justice in Nigeria.
Again, how
now,
so?
All of us, including you and Mr. CP, including the Grandmaster of Forger, should go and apologize to Mesoma. Even JAMB office should call Mesoma and apologize to her. They should apologize to Mesoma. That's number one. Because now Supreme Court has legitimized forgery. Number two, Abuja is sacrosanct. It is so interesting to see that Justice Okoro, who said that the framers of the Constitution didn't clearly state it. Now, Mr. CP, you wrote JAMB, or maybe you wrote maybe JAMB or WAEC. Before you can get admission into any university in Nigeria, they tell you must have maths and English, depending on your college. Maths and English is very sacrosanct, and any other. So it's a 5 credits. You have maths and English and 3 other. But today, those old men could not distinguish between 24 states and Abuja. So sad. Now, another thing is the CSU deposition. One of yours representative brought J. Coyden. J. Coyden spoke on VOP. The position was done under oath. It was so interesting to see that the justices of Supreme Court of Nigeria, the Supreme Court, the injustice of Supreme Court of Nigeria said that deposition is frivolous, cannot be admitted. Then now, even on the issue of double nomination, they went the way of the lower court. That means that you can now postulate the intention of a thief. A thief is coming to my house, and they will now tell me their intention. These guys went on double nomination. They don't need to tell you what their intentions were. They know what they did. That was there. The whole summary of this whole thing is, whether you are APC or PDP or Labour Party or wherever you are, I mean, $1 to a naira now is how much? So the increase in dollar comes every 1 hour. December is down the line. All of us, everybody, I mean, with all due respect, I'm not suffering by God's grace. I'm not suffering. It's a privilege I'm here today. But one thing is, whether you are jubilating or you are not jubilating, everybody go collect. And that me say, we don't become a laughing stock in the eyes of the world. But above all of us, including JAMB office and the president of Nigeria, should go and apologize to Mesoma for what we make that young lady went through because of what she did with her JAMB results.
Okay,
and in rounding up, Mr. CP, if the next time I call you, address me as a professor, because I came to Oluwole in Lagos Island yesterday to come and get my certificate from a third-party vendor. And don't ask me how I got it. I just designed to my own taste. I have my certificate. I'm a professor. The next time I call you, address me as a professor. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you, Oluwatosin, for calling all the way from the US of A.
This is interesting.
Yes, emotions are running high. We do know that. Let's take some comments from our YouTube platform. We have Gani Hunwokore saying $1 is now 1.3. Shame on all of us for remaining as cowards. What should we do? What could we have done differently? The same judgment handed down by the Pepsi is exactly what was read out today by Justice Okoro. This is coming from Emmanuel Okpara. Okay, Surplus Link says, move on to where? Fisayo Majekodumi says, Kola, what about forged certificates? Ola Adewale said, how about those boxes filled with documents? Olumide Isaac said, judges don't decide on public opinions or sentiment. They make decisions on facts brought before them, but unfortunately, these ones didn't do the needful. Azi Good News says, good afternoon, Chioma and CP Chooks. JAMB needs to go and apologize to Ms. Omar so far as Supreme Court didn't judge it. They didn't judge it. As how? Emmanuel Okpara says, why did we waste money on IREV if the failure of IREV does not stop collation of results? Gani Hunwokore says $1 is now 1.350. It's giving us updates by the minutes. Maybe the next time he writes to be 1.4. Ade Philip says, look, I blame Obi and Atiku's lawyers. 65%? Why? They should have gotten all their evidences presented at the Pepsi. Okay. On WhatsApp, we have, good afternoon. As for me, I know there will be a judgment instead of justice. APC government and the Supreme Court under this government has murdered democracy. Supreme Court gave Senator Akpabio, Zodima and ETC returning tickets while none of them was a candidate. What a nation. Laz Chikwendo from Oshodin. Okay, Leo from Idimu says, grab it, run away with it in 2027 and nothing will happen. It's been approved now by the Supreme Court. Remy from Akoka says, constitutional requirement is always sacrosanct. Hillary Clinton lost to Donald Trump because she did not meet a solid constitutional requirement of the United States, despite scoring millions of votes more than Trump. Such idea isn't peculiar only to Nigeria. Please ask your guest my initial question. I did ask your initial question. What was Supreme Court's interpretation concerning 25% in FCT in 2007? I think where Remy is going is that there's a disparity. It doesn't seem to be the same.
Yes. If I should touch on that, I remember in 2007, when the Supreme Court gave judgment in favor of the late Umaru Musa Yar'Adua as the president, Muhammadu Buhari challenged that he won late Umaru Musa Yar'Adua hands down in FCT. This same Supreme Court then told him that the question is not whether he won Musa Yar'Adua or not. That so long as Musa Yar'Adua had met 25%, that he had either 29 or so or 30% in FCT, that is all he required. That they would have given the thing against Umaru Musa Yar'Adua if he did not score up to 25%. So that is an answer to that question from
Remy. Yes,
Remy
from Akoka.
showing that what we have seen now is completely a different thing. But we shouldn't be surprised, because like I had said earlier in the former, in one or two analysis, if somebody like Hope Uzodinma, who came fourth, I wasn't the one that said it. It was Olisa Agbakoba SAN, who was past president of NBA, with over 45 years experience in legal practice. That it beats his imagination that the Supreme Court should give judgment to somebody that came forth to become governor of Imo State. And he went further to say, look at Godswill Akpabio and Lawan, who did not even participate in primaries for senatorial election, ended up getting Supreme Court judgment that they are recognized as the senatorial candidates of both Yobe and Akwa Ibom, Northeast Senatorial District. And they are today in red chambers, to the extent that one of them is sitting as the Senate President. So what do you expect me to analyze again? That's why I say anybody that wants to read more should go to that section 134 of the Constitution and look at it.
Right,
and then we will now know the direction the judiciary is taking us to.
Okay, then I'm taking more messages from WhatsApp. This person says, Choma, please educate the caller that all the figures were sent in by Labour Party. The votes were actually challenged in 21 states, but the judiciary in their wisdom used technicalities not to look in. Greetings to CP Chooks, Simisola from Isolo, Lagos. I condole and sympathize with all Nigerians as we mourn the death of judiciary in Nigeria. As for me, in the book of Nigeria, chapter 23, verses 10 to 26, it says, the masses wept. We didn't get the justice, we got judgment. I, stitches. I wash off my hand from anything Nigeria law. Nigeria's definition of survival of the fittest. Choma till I go die. I will never vote in this country. And I'll never let any member of my family do. I am Stitches. Happy belated birthday, Choma. I followed you on Instagram, even though I didn't DM you. Okay. Stitches, thank you. Please help me tell my brother Tosin that I'm wearing my black shirt now. Now, why you took this thing? You took it so personal. Stitches, all right then. Thank you for your message. I will now take your call. Good afternoon. Welcome to Matters.
Thank you very much. Yes, Dr. Professor Tosin calling again. Chioma, it baffles me to say that Nigerians are saying that my president, His Excellency Mr. Peter Gregory Obi, and the lawyers did not present their case at the pen.
Your president of which country?
Okay, whatever. I mean, that's my
your own personal president of where you are living.
He's in the US.
Well, I mean, whatever the case may be, I have my choice.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a free citizen. So
yes, you do have your choice, but the Nigerian president does not have the name you just used.
Okay. I mean, just allow me. So now this guy went to the court. He went with evidences, overwhelming evidences. I mean, you can see those boxes lied down there in the court. The question is, did Samani or Tsunami, Bolaji, Ugo, and others, did they pick any of those evidence to actually inspect? That's number one. Number two, my president, His Excellency Mr. Peter Gregory Obi, when they said they have video evidences to show in the court. The court said we don't have a TV. He said, don't worry, I'll provide you a TV. He brought the TV, showed the video of how people were being ambushed. Over 88 people died in this election. Over 88. We are not in war. And that's why this thing, you may think is a laughing matter. It is not a laughing matter, my sister. This is the most painful election in the history of our country. Even MKO Abiola's situation is not as bad as this. A 19-year-old boy killed himself. Killed himself in Plateau Jos because of this election. Because a lady was stabbed in the face. She became the face of this election. Why? Because one man said somewhere in UK, Chatham House, after they did everything, told them in a restaurant, he said, power is not served a la carte. One, you snatch it, you grab it, and you run with it. In Yoruba Palace, where I am a born Yoruba boy, and I'm happy to be behind Peter Gregory Obi because he sees my value. Now, what that means in Yoruba language is that Boba Bako Pa. blessed. That means if you meet him, take his side. If you don't meet him, make sure you leave a damning mark. In this election, the Oro worshippers, they defied their God. They brought their God out in the day. They defied their God because somebody had to be a president. In this election, they told Mama Chukudi, if you will not vote for APC, don't come out. And these injustices told me that these people didn't present their case. My sister, we are over 88 people died in this election. A 19-year-old killed himself in Plateau just because of this election.
Thank you,
we are not in war. We are not in war. We all, again, should please bring Mesoma to this channel tomorrow. I beg you, with my life. Bring Mesoma and let Nigerians call in and apologize to Mesoma. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tosin, for your message. We really do appreciate your call. Good afternoon. Welcome to Matters. Hello there. Good afternoon. Welcome. Hello.
Good afternoon, Ijeoma.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Yeah, Nemeka talk from Ejibo.
Nemeka from Ejibo. Welcome. Let's hear your opinion on today's matters.
All right then. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Nemeka.
Yeah, Dalo, my brother. Defeat my brother.
Thank you.
My sister, I'm urging all the Nigerians, all the old good Nigerians to remain calm and cool.
Okay.
The atmosphere signifies the justice, the judgment. The atmosphere in the country signifying the judgment. But you know my happiness today, Choma.
What is it?
There is I spot a light. I spot a light at the end of the tunnel. Because I have confidence of good over evil 24 hours. New Nigeria is coming.
Thank you, Nemeka.
Can stop New Nigeria. The fate of every good Nigeria must be realized.
Thank you so much.
The only thing is this: our country is for everybody. Let us remain calm. Show the love to each other. Unite with one voice. Speak out.
All right.
Because the reason why I'm saying this is this: we don't have any other country to go to. We don't have any other country to call a country except this one.
True.
We don't have any other country except this one.
True.
If there is a right judgment or if there is a justice, you will see it in the atmosphere. But if justice has been denied, you will see it also in atmosphere. The atmosphere in Nigeria shows what Nigeria is going through.
Thank you, Nemeka.
But God knows that. Listen, God knows that we are not in this mess. All of us that agree in this mess. But everybody bear it in mind. Whatever we are getting from this, what we accept. Make nobody blame each other.
Thank you so much. You're so optimistic. Thank you so much. I appreciate your optimism. Good afternoon. Welcome to Matters. Hello there. Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon, CP.
Good afternoon to you too.
For me, I think my name is Neil. But for me, this judgment, I think most time I try to look at things from what did we learn from this and what have we gotten from this. What I learned personally on this, now I know why we took up history from Nigerian education. Because if we have history in our education, the judges who did things like this before in the past, because this is not just, it has become an occurrence situation. If history was taught in our schools and people know about judges of this kind of magnitude, by now their family, their children, when they mention their name, at least we will tell them, oh, we know your father did so and so thing this time around. But this time, these people, they did because they know, okay, tell me, where are those people in the first judgment? You cannot tell who they are. People can tell about them. Because if history was in school and they teach this kind of thing in school, are you sure these judges would man up enough to do what they did? That's just all I've seen in this thing. I think it is time we bring back history to our schools so that we could teach these things to our students, to our children, and our youth. So that then when we speak, because sorry, in fact, I don't want to get angry. So, but in fact, this is what I learned.
Thank you so much. You didn't tell us your name or where you're calling from.
My name is Leo, but you just leave my location. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Leo, let me take some more messages on our WhatsApp platform. You say, Chioma, you and CP Chuk should remember that there was snatching of ballot boxes, which signifies that the IRF will not be uploaded, and APC are the only party preview to this, and that is the evidence that INEC chairman sold our election to the highest bidder. Leo from Idimo. Leo, okay. You say, good day, VOP and CP Chuks. You don't want to greet me. What did I do to you? Our judiciary system is a system of shifting goalposts to suit personal gains. No difference between the current judiciary and the junta. Nigeria is in for a one-party system. Ezekiel from Ejigbo. Hey. Okay. Remy. You say it's like you are gaslighting the people. Each time you say people are being emotional, as if being emotional is a crime. The questions we're asking are rational and logical questions based on the rule of law and the precedents set by the same Supreme Court in the past. Let the people be emotional for as long as they are not irrational in their views. Remy from Akoka. All right, Remy, I did not mean this in a condescending manner. All right. So when I talk about being emotional, I'm talking about tone of voice. I'm talking about in the way you're expressing your views. All right. Far be it from me to stop you from expressing your views in the way you want to. As long as people are being rational, we're voice of the people. We're here to make sure that you have a voice. I cried for Nigeria. Ola. Okay, I weep for my country. It's really a shame we've decided to accept criminality as our way of life. The judges today demonstrated how bad our country is now. This would never have happened here in the US where I live. Shame on all of us for acting like cowards. From Ghani Nwokore. Okay, Chinedu from Badagry says, we all now can see that democracy is under the watch of all our security agencies who should have stood out to protect it has been destroyed. Anybody can now forge and enter our institutions or occupy any office. What a shame of a country. Bribery and any other EUs are now legalized. Abuja must now claim her rights immediately. ETC, good day. All right. Who is this? Okay, thank you so much. Okay, Nwachika from Ayobo. VOP is my radio station. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you for always listening to VOP. Mr. James from Agor Palace. Nigeria is in soup. Supreme is fake. Oluwale, here I come. I will be a professor soon. All right, Jonathan from Austria. From the outcome of the whole presidential election petitions judgment, we should be careful of 2027 general elections because it might be brutal. Jude, Mr. Jude in Okota says, good day, Chioma and Mr. CP. Why did Supreme Court not follow the ruling of appeal court on Nnamdi Kanu? Okay, great Agada from Ikotun VOP. God will protect his own people. The Supreme Court judgment further justifies the lack of confidence that the common man has in the judiciary. No justice in Nigeria. People are suffering. Nothing is working. Yet someone will justify these broad daylight criminalities. Okay. Thank you for your message. I'm trying so hard to get through to all the messages. Okay. So you don't accuse me of not reading your message because of the content. If I don't open it, I don't know what's there. But we need to go soon so we can have our final words on this soon. Good afternoon, madam. Whoever is saying one Nigeria is feeding from his own mouth. Okay. Good afternoon, Chioma and CP Chuks. It is unfortunate, very unfortunate, that the Supreme Court of Nigeria said 25% in Abuja is not needed to make one president. That means even those who made the law are not needed. I asked Mr. CP, why did the Constitution put "and"? Or did I not finish my school enough to know the meaning of "and"? Nigeria I hail. One thing I know is that this rain will fall on all Nigeria soon. Cassie from Blue Heaven. Cassie, thank you so much for your message. My name is AA. Congratulations to Asiwaju, the man of the people. In the entire Northwest, Northeast, and North Central, even Southwest, apart from Lagos, how many votes did Peter Obi get? LP, their supporters are only based on propaganda and insults. The Supreme Court have delivered a good judgment. God bless Nigeria. AA, thank you for your message. Good afternoon, Chairman and CP Chuks. I wonder what is emotional and sentiment about the reaction of Nigerians towards the Supreme Court. Why is Nigerian issues always different from what is obtainable in other climes? In America, Donald Trump was charged and is being tried for sexual harassment, tax evasion, and instigation of insurrection on the last presidential election in the US. And the judges do the needful, and no one is hearing about the Americans being emotional or sentimental. Nigerian judiciary failed. They should bury their heads in the mud for setting a very bad precedent which will haunt this country. Ike Zobi from Ejigbo, Lagos. All right. I will take 3 more messages and that will be it. Good afternoon, Choma and CP. This is AY from Mushin. Forgery is now legit. Judiciary, Nigeria shouldn't complain at all because we won't do anything about it. We are waiting for a savior to come and perform magic in Nigeria, right? Make we dey play. If we don't stand up to forbid bad rulers, then we are all in for it. My name is Abiola. The Supreme Court judgment has put Nigeria in much miserable condition because life will become more difficult. Chioma, tell Nigerians to work towards restoring back our democracy. We must remember that the future of our children is at stake here. From Ganihu Nwokore. And finally, Chioma, so doing, you don't want to pick my call. Did I offend you in any shape or form? Okay, the shape or form got me. It's funny. You know what? If you call me right now, while I'm speaking right now, I will take your call right now. You'll be my final caller for the day. If you call me right now, while I'm still speaking, I will take your call immediately. I can see where your number ends with, and I'll take note of that. But while we are waiting for your call, let's head on over to YouTube. So many messages. Ade Phillips says, didn't PDP and LP know what is meant by pre-election matters? They knew about Jagaban certificates before the election, but didn't activate it ab initio. Didn't they know they are playing with a smart guy? Emmanuel Lokmara says, we shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. But some people refuse to be free, despite knowing the truth. May we not labor in vain. Ola Adewale says, politicians have a tenuous relationship with truth. The reason they love power, and they will go all in to tell Nigerians to take a hike. Okay. Ade Phillips, caller, did PDP or LP provide any evidence regarding the certificate? Even when people like Reno Omokri went to Chicago University to investigate, PDP and LP lawyers were playing sit-down look. Gani Nwokore says, we must call evil by its name. Nigerians are suffering today because we have refused to act like real men. Okay. Thank you so much for your messages on YouTube. Honestly, I can't thank you enough. Public opinion doesn't count in judicial matters. You must prove your case beyond reasonable doubt. You didn't tell me your name. Thank you for your message. You have accused me of not picking your calls. And I told you, call me now. And I will take this call. And I'm not seeing your call while I'm waiting for that. CP, final words on this situation. Any advice for Nigerians?
Well, my advice to Nigerians is that whichever side of the divide they find themselves, as far as the Supreme Court judgment has come out, it has the final say on who is in charge in governance of Nigeria. So people are free; they should enjoy their fundamental rights, but they have limits. They should not think along the path of violence in reaction. Okay. What I mean by that is that they should do the thing jaw, not war. So they are free to say whatever they want to express.
Action, we should be careful.
Yes, but they have their limits. They shouldn't make pronouncements that should incite the public against the government and all that.
All right, then. You accuse me of not picking your call. Well, I have. Good afternoon.
Chioma.
Welcome to Matters.
Okay, Chioma, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name and your location, please?
My name is Sugo. I accuse you because I started calling as early you started this program, but that's fine. CP Choose, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Ugo.
You are a driver. You cannot deny it because you are a police officer to that rank. You cannot say you don't know how to drive.
Exactly.
Can you tell me that accident cannot happen because you're close to your destination while you're on a very high speed?
It can.
Or you are driving careless. It can happen, right?
Yes.
Then, if you are an invigilator in an exam hall, and I'm writing with Expo, and you looked, I'm writing with examination malpractice, and I have written almost to the last question before you caught me on the exam hall. Can you say you will not tear it when I have not, because I have written so much? Or you cannot seize the paper because I have written so much. Seeing that I have written so much, therefore, it is justifiable that you can manage what I have put down, even when I have failed one of the principles that guides the exam.
I'll cancel the paper or tear it to shreds.
The paper. What the Supreme Court is telling us today is that Tinubu has scored reasonable number of states. He has won in 25% in reasonable number of states. Seeing that he has done that, that there is no need of keeping to the law. You understand? And they say that justice did not know. Mrs. Justice is blind. he has not fulfilled the requirement of the law. And because them since that he has scored the reasonable number of the state, why FCT is not included, therefore they will pass their judgment. Because he has tried so hard, just like me riding with Expo or driving so rough, getting to my destination, and all of a sudden accident can no longer happen. Even when I'm on my high speed or driving rough, did not obey the principle of driving. That's what's happened today in the law court. It's quite unfortunate.
Thank you so much for your message.
Somebody give us our mandate called, and they was saying that we are not suffering now overseas. The truth is that we are not suffering. Every man has to.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. All right then, I wish I could ask you to give me a call back, but unfortunately we need to go. Let me take this message. Before you say I didn't pick your call and I did not take your message. How can you be waiting for a particular caller where you've been ignoring other calls? You even hang up mine. How dare you say I'm taking this personal? Isn't this personal? Is this not supposed to be my country? Stitches, I apologize to the ear of the millions of Nigerians that are listening right now. I honestly, sincerely, absolutely apologize to you. This was not intentional, okay? And I promise, your call will be the first I'll pick tomorrow. In fact, if you don't call me, I won't take any call, all right? Forgive me, okay? So, well, we all need to take it personal. Nigeria is our country. Me personally and so many of us, we don't have any other country. We don't even have anywhere to go if anything should happen, which is why we're trying so hard to make sure that, you know, nothing terrible happens. But we really, really need to go right now. Stitches, I hope you can hear me. Tomorrow, your call will be the first one I will pick. All those who are saying, prove your case beyond reasonable doubts. Did the election follow any reasonable doubts in law? Leo from Idimo. Good afternoon, Chioma. I consider today's judgment as good and correct. The petitions were frivolous in the first place. My question, did expect himself to be winner because he scored 90% in the southeast, while he scored less than 25% in the northwest and northeast? From Awotunsi Ikotun. Law is not based on emotional. Obi supporters should take note. And that is all we can take on today's edition of Matters. CP Chooks, I'd like to thank you so much for coming. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you too.
I really appreciate you for always coming. I can see the calls, I can see the messages, but unfortunately, that is the size of our package today. You know what? It's going to be you and I, just you and I tomorrow. All right, let's do this. My name is Ijeoma Innocent. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for listening. Very soon, I know you missed you there. He will be with you shortly. Till I come your way again tomorrow. Keep living, keep loving, keep listening. If I say keep praying for Nigeria, some people will drag me by my ears. Some will drag me by my feet. But Nigeria is our country. You don't get where we want wrong go. We'll keep doing what we can. All right. The Supreme Court has given its judgment. As much as many people are not happy about it, there are people who are also happy about it. Every single message you heard me read out, somebody wrote it. Okay. Include every single message, somebody wrote it. So no matter how you feel about the judgment today, just like CP said, please, when it comes to your actions, be careful, all right? And don't do anything that will be counted as inciting violence. My name is Ijeoma Innocent. Like, come your way again tomorrow. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Thursday afternoon. We'll be playing you some wonderful songs so that you can use it to, kulele. See you tomorrow.